right, it's like 25 minutes later. We've now established that my wife is a tractator hater.
25 minutes later.
This is really good. This is really, really good. And I tell you what makes this really, really good. Every character makes sense. What they're doing makes sense. There's no silly faffing about. There's no floundering, let's get ourselves into trouble for no discernible reason. There's no... This makes logical sense. And I love... I mean, this does sound daft, but Turlo working out why there's a block and tackle there sounds like such a stupid, dull thing to have in a story. But actually it was brilliant. It just goes, this is here. Why is this here? Let's work it out. And that opens... Hello, Dusty. That unlocks the next part of the story. That's absolutely brilliant. That's just how writing should go, surely. That's how plotting in television stories should go. The whole Plantagenet dying causes problems in the hospital ward, or whatever we're calling that. So Tegan has to escape. That made sense. That wasn't a sort of, let's lock somebody up for half an episode so, they've got a bit of story development. And surrounding all this colony falling apart, I can actually buy into that. We've had situations before in Doctor Who, nothing springs to mind, so don't push me, we'll think something later, where we're told that there's bad things are happening in the outside world, and that's all. I tell you where it's done well. Carnival of Monsters. Do you remember all the way back there where we had a story about the miniscope, and around that, as far as I recall, we have sort of a bit of rebellion, a bit of unrest. Well, we've got that here cranked up to the max, within which we've got this little mystery that needs to be solved. Now, whilst we have stated that there is a member of the House who is a tractator hater 25 minutes later, I'm okay with the tractators. I would equate them at this stage, obviously we've still got some time to go, to the Wirren in Ark in Space, okay, which we know weren't the greatest visual effect ever told, but...
They were quite big fat worms, weren't they?
They started off as worms and turned into sort of insectoid thingies that sort of just jiggled rather than did anything.
The Wirren don't jiggle.
Awesome. So, it's going to keep me... Oh, brilliant. So I'm okay with the trailer. I'll admit, I think Davison standing there holding his lamp like that whilst in a sort of poor visual effect isn't the greatest cliffhanger in the world. But no, I'm very much sold on this story. Really, really sold on this story. I think we're going to have a little Indian summer for the Fifth Doctor.
Racist.
It's not though, is it? Or is it?
I don't know if you can call it that.
Okay. Oh well. For the Fifth Doctor, and that is great. That's surely what we want. And I can also see the story goes, Lib. You won't know this, but that Davison had decided to leave in the tail end. Don't be mean to Davison. In the tail end of the previous season, I think, and then
he had insight into realising that he's a shit.
Oi, stop it! And then he got into this season, and by the middle of it, he thought, actually, these stories are pretty good. I should stick around. But by that point, John Nathan Turner was too excited about casting a new Doctor. That's a true story, apparently. And we all know the story. Everybody went to a party, and Colin Baker was there, and he was the most entertaining he'd ever been. And John Nathan Turner cast him on the basis of that.
Is that true?
So the story goes.
Was David Bowie at the party?
David Bowie was not at the party, but my God, what a great Doctor he would have made. By the way, have we talked about the new Doctor Who Magic set? We should do a little review of that when that comes out. That would be awesome beans. I don't think there's any cards from Frontios in it, though, which is a shame, because this story is class. Goodbye.